What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down exactly how I made over $1,500 in the span of under 24 hours in the crypto futures market. Now, if you're new here, my name is Rashid Banks and I'm a crypto futures trader. If you guys enjoy content like this, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button. And if you guys are looking for a platform to trade on, I personally use BYBIT. They're by far the #1 platform in existence. I've probably tried every single one and nothing tops BYBIT. So I'll leave my link down in the description below. And for whatever reason, BYBIT doesn't work in your country, well then I would suggest using Blowfin, which I'll leave down in the description below as well. They don't require KYC and they're a phenomenal exchange as well. So we're gonna be jumping in straight into the charts. And in today's trade, we actually traded Rats. Now, Rats is a micro coin. It's only got about $100 million market cap. Now, usually I don't like trading small micro cap coins just because the volatility is, sometimes it could be a little scary, right? Because $1 million into a coin like this can, make it jump a lot, right? And that goes both ways, selling or buying. But, the chart speaks for itself. It was a very, very clean setup. So we're going to break down the trade exactly right now. So the first thing I do is I always go through the daily bias. So what we're going to do is go through the daily chart here, and we're going to see, okay, so overall we are on a downtrend on the daily time frame. But if we were to go to the 4-hour chart, we can see that on the 4-hour chart, we're clearly making higher highs and higher lows. So on the 4-hour chart, I would say that it's a bullish bias, whereas on the daily, it's a bearish bias, right? So then we go to the 1-hour chart, and again, we can clearly see that it hasn't taken out a low once. So it's just consistently making higher highs and higher lows. And so what I do before I even enter a trade is I try to draw on the chart as much as possible. And so what I'll do is I'll draw a clean trend line from the bottom and the top, and then we zoom into exactly what's going on. And in the moment, what I saw was that the price action was about to retest the trend line. So I had a few confirmations here, which is why I took the trade. Number one, it was coming towards the trend line. Number two, it was coming toward a supply and demand zone. And number three, it was coming towards the 200 EMA on the 1-hour chart. There was also a few other things, like, for example, there was a psychological number aspect to it, right? So RAS was trading around the 10 in change, and for it to break under 10, it's already done it once through a liquidity sweep. I didn't see it doing it again, especially with the momentum that the market had. And so, assuming I can use the psychological number as another validation, I had over 4 validations on this chart. So unfortunately, I did enter a little too early. I could have had even a better entry, and this is something I'm working on myself. It's patience. I need to be a little bit more patient, but we're not perfect, which is why we make these videos, so I can share my expertise and my advice with you guys. No matter what, it was a profitable trade. It was a great trade. It just could have been a little bit better, so I have a little bit of room improvement here, and honestly, all it took was a little bit of patience. What I did end up doing was, when I was in drawdown, I sized in a little more, DCA down, and had a lower average cost. I made this decision solely through the 1-hour time frame. And what I exactly saw is, again, I saw the retest on the trend line, I saw the supply and demand zone, I saw the 200 EMA on the 1-hour chart, and I just saw it as a perfectly clean setup. So over here, I risked about 1 to 2.5, which is what I try to aim for, at least 1 to 2. But I saw some pretty decent room here, especially because BTC was pumping. Everything was pumping the whole day except Rats. So I did actually have a little bit of FOMO, considering that everything fucking God candled. Like, if you look at Pepe, if you look at WIF, if you look at Ondo, Flocky, a lot of things God candled, and for some reason Rats just wasn't part of the party. But I was okay with that because I saw this as the cleanest setup. And I was prepared to be as patient as possible to just let the trade play out. I gave it some time. And I was in this trade for approximately 10 hours. So it's definitely a little longer than I usually like to hold the trade. But, however the price action ended up going, the trade was still valid. Now, I actually had a little bit more of a greedy TP at first. I was actually aiming for around 11.3, which is a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. I ended up changing my mind and bringing down my TP right below the psychological number of 11, which was 10.9. Now, It actually ended up breaking over 11 and it could have had my original TP, which would have been over a $2,200 profit for the day. But that's okay. We take our wins. We're thankful for them. So yeah, TP'd at 10.9 and that was a clean, I believe 110% return. And yeah, that's what we do, baby. So we got to log it. And this is something I highly suggest all of you to do, is log your trades. Don't fuck this up. Yeah, so we ended up logging the trade, and you know, I obviously have to list my validations. So trend line bounce, higher high, higher lows. The daily was bullish. There was a psychological number. There was a supply zone. There was a 4 hour. We were above the 4-hour 200 EMA, which gave us clear direction that we've pretty much broken the largest resistance for the downside, and we have clear room for the upside. And I used the 1-hour time frame to come to the conclusion of this trade. So this was a very, very simple trade, guys. And I'm actually in a very, very similar position right now on INJ. So if we pull up the INJ chart, you can see, again, a clear higher highs and higher lows on the 1-hour chart. I drew a very, very similar setup, except what this trade had as well was a clear support level, which is that red line right there. So not only did we have a bounce on the trend line, but we also had a bounce on a support level. We also had a bounce on the 50-day EMA on the 1-hour chart, and just very, very clean setup here. I let the trade come to me, and as soon as I saw it zoom into the 15-minute chart, I entered the trade around 19.29, and as soon as I saw it break this little mini trend line here, I was very confident with the trade. So this trade is currently being played out as we speak, and we're currently up 24%. We'll let it ride out to either stop loss or TP. But again, very, very similar setup here. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up today's video, guys. That is exactly how I ended up making over $1,500 in a single day trading crypto futures. Again, if you guys are looking for a platform to trade on, I trade on BYBIT. They're the #1 platform. I would suggest them over Binance, over a lot of other platforms as well. So again, I'll leave my link down in the description below, and they do have a sign-up bonus if you use my link. So I definitely suggest you do so. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Rashid Banks. We do this all the time, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have a lot of videos, educational videos, psychology videos, and obviously trade setups, very, very clean setups. So that pretty much wraps up today's video. Take care, peace.